I remember a time not so long ago when pausing a YouTube video was a simple act. You did it to admire a detail in the background, to read some text that flashed by too quickly, or simply because your mom was calling you. Now pausing a video is like playing Russian roulette with your patience. The other day, I paused a documentary to see if the guy in the background was a Keanu Reeves lookalike, and suddenly, the screen filled up with an ad for dental insurance. They call it the pause experience. I call it punishment for being curious. It's the digital equivalent of someone shouting a frying pan offer in your face every time you stop to tie your shoelaces. It's incredible how we've normalized this descent into advertising madness. YouTube wasn't born this way. Back in its early days, around 2005, it was an anarchic and wonderful place, a paradise of free expression, where the only requirement was to have a prehistoric internet connection and a webcam that recorded in potato quality. It was the era of broadcast yourself, a slogan that promised a platform for the people, by the people. Advertising was a distant concept, almost vulgar. In fact, Chad Hurley, one of the co-founders, explicitly said in 2006 that he rejected the idea of interrupting the user experience with ads. He was an idealist, a dreamer. But then, as in every good tragedy, money appeared. How did we go from that noble manifesto to being bombarded with 5 ads in a row before we can even watch a cookie recipe? The answer, as always, is an offer they couldn't refuse. A year after that statement of principles, Google showed up with a briefcase containing $1.6 billion and bought the dream. Overnight, broadcast yourself started to sound more like monetize yourself. The change was gradual, almost imperceptible at first. A little banner here, a video ad you could skip after 5 seconds there. It was the equivalent of putting a frog in a pot of cold water and slowly turning up the heat. We didn't realize we were being cooked until the water started to boil, and even saying it boiled is an understatement. In 2018, they introduced double ads. Then, unskippable ads became longer and more frequent. Now we have the pause experience. It's a business model based on wearing you down. They wear you out, exhaust you, push you to the edge of your sanity with constant interruptions, hoping that in a moment of desperation you'll pull out your credit card. It's harassment as a service. A system designed not for you to enjoy the content, but so you'll hate the ad so much that you're willing to pay for silence. Does it sound like extortion? Because it kind of is. This trick isn't exclusive to YouTube, of course. It's the same playbook the entire digital entertainment industry is following. Think about Netflix. For years, their main selling point was the complete absence of ads. It was their banner, their sacred cause. And look at them now, offering a cheaper plan with ads because they discovered that once you have millions of users hooked on your catalog, you can start tightening the screws. It's the same strategy as cable TV, that dinosaur we all ran away from to take refuge on the internet. Ironically, YouTube has become the monster it swore to destroy. But the problem is no longer just the number of ads, but their quality. Or rather, the lack of it. The platform has become a breeding ground for blatant scams. AI girlfriend ads promising to seduce you, fake gurus selling you the key to success from their parents' garage, or the infamous robot puppy scam that turned out to be a cheap piece of plastic made in China. YouTube has algorithms capable of demonetizing a creator for saying a bad word or using 2 seconds of a copyrighted song. But it seems those same algorithms take a break when it comes to reviewing the ads that pay their bills. It's like the bouncer at an exclusive nightclub thoroughly frisking every regular customer, but letting anyone walk in without a glance as long as they're waving a wad of cash. The reason is painfully simple. Fraud is profitable. A recent BBC report revealed that more than 10% of Meta's revenue comes from scammers. Does anyone really think the number is much different on YouTube? These fraudulent companies have enormous profit margins because they sell junk at sky-high prices, which allows them to invest huge amounts of money in advertising. For YouTube, it's easy money. Why would they turn off the tap? The economic impact is brutal. YouTube's advertising revenue went from about $15 billion in 2019 to nearly $36 billion in 2024. That's more than double in just 5 years. Meanwhile, their user base only grew by 25%. The math doesn't lie. They're not making more money because there are more people watching, but because they're squeezing much more out of each person who's already there. Socially, the effect is advertising fatigue. We're so saturated that we've developed selective blindness. Our brains have learned to ignore banners and to tune out during commercial breaks, which forces advertisers to become increasingly intrusive in order to capture our attention in a never-ending spiral. And this is where the story takes a turn. Like in every good spy movie, when the oppressive empire tightens its grip too much, the resistance organizes. It's time to activate Mission Impossible mode. For millions of users, the solution has a name: AdBlock. Programs like uBlock Origin or browsers like Brave have become essential tools for surfing the web without losing your mind. They're the digital equivalent of sunglasses that filter out visual noise, and YouTube, of course, hates it. Its response has been to declare open war against these blockers. First, there was a polite message asking you to disable it. Then, a block that prevented you from watching videos if you had one active. And more recently, it was discovered that they were artificially slowing down video load times in browsers like Firefox, where blockers are popular. It's a technological battle in which every time YouTube finds a way to detect a blocker, the open-source developer community releases an update that bypasses it again, sometimes within hours. It's a digital guerrilla war, and for now, it seems the guerrilla fighters are winning. How is it possible that one of the biggest tech companies in the world can do this without consequences? The answer lies in legal ambiguity. Platforms like YouTube are protected by Section 230 of the United States Communications Decency Act, a regulation that basically says they are not responsible for the content their users post. It was created to protect freedom of expression, but companies have stretched it like chewing gum to also cover fraudulent advertising that they themselves distribute and profit from. They argue that they are just the intermediary, the bulletin board, not the editor. But when you control which ads are shown, when, and to whom, and you take a hefty cut, that line becomes very, very blurry. And here comes the masterstroke, the convenience economy. After creating an unbearable problem, a platform that's almost unusable due to the avalanche of ads, YouTube offers you the magic solution, YouTube Premium. For just $13.99 a month, you can get back the peace and quiet they took from you. It's a brilliant and twisted strategy. It's like someone breaks your legs and then sells you crutches at a premium price. They're not selling an upgrade, they're selling relief from a pain they themselves have inflicted. And millions of people pay because the alternative is madness. The dark side of all this goes beyond simple annoyance. Permissiveness with fraudulent ads has real consequences. People losing their savings to fake investments, vulnerable individuals buying products that never arrive, and the normalization of deceptive content that erodes trust in everything we see online. We're at a point where deepfakes and AI scams are so common in ads that we're no longer even surprised. YouTube, the platform that once democratized video, has become a vehicle for large-scale misinformation, as long as the advertiser's check doesn't bounce. It's the Wild West, but with more crypto scams and fewer cowboy hats. All of this is wrapped in a meticulously calculated user experience design. The skip ad button is a stroke of psychological genius. It gives you an illusion of control, a little hit of dopamine from being able to defeat the ad. The 5-second countdown creates just enough attention to keep your eyes glued to the screen. Every element is designed to be just at the edge of what's tolerable, to keep you on the platform long enough to show you the next block of ads. But they've stretched the rope so far that it has finally snapped. The experience is no longer tolerable for a large part of their audience. What does the future hold? The war against ad blockers will intensify. We might see ads integrated directly into the video by artificial intelligence, making them impossible to block. Or maybe creators and users will migrate to other decentralized platforms that promise a return to the original ideals of the internet. It's a crossroads. YouTube can continue down the path of maximizing short-term profits at the cost of alienating its base. Or it can remember what made it great in the first place: the community. But judging by their latest decisions, it doesn't seem like they're going to choose the path of nostalgia. It feels like one of those Black Mirror dystopias where you can't look away during the ads or you get penalized. And so we come back to the beginning, to that simple act of pausing a video. What used to be a break is now a business opportunity. The dream of broadcast yourself died a long time ago, replaced by the imperative to advertise yourself to death. The final irony is that, in their desperate attempt to monetize every second of our attention, the only thing they've achieved is making us experts at ignoring them. They've made billions, but they've lost the battle for our minds. AdBlock isn't the cause of the problem, it's the symptom. It's the inevitable response to an ecosystem that stopped respecting its audience. After all this, do you think YouTube is digging its own grave with its greed? Or are we the ones to blame for expecting such a massive service to be free forever? If you found this story about how a creative platform was devoured by corporate greed interesting, you're going to love this analysis on the fall of Hollywood. I assure you, it doesn't have a pause experience. See you there.